How's it going, guys? It's Billy here, and in today's video we're going to be upgrading my Htpc. Now, for you guys that don't know what an Htpc is and you're too lazy to Google it, well, it's an acronym. It stands for Home Theater PC. So this is a PC that would be used in conjunction with your flat screen television in your living room somewhere. It's a lot easier to use because it's a full-fledged PC, so you can basically watch any content that you want just by having a wireless keyboard and mouse. So you could be sitting at your couch and accessing the computer through your television. You could even do some light gaming with it as well, but that's up to you if you even want to put a video card in it. But anyway, the point of this video today is showing you my upgrade from what I was using before to what I'm going to be using now. So previously I was actually using a build that I did back in 2007. So this is the year that the very first Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, also known as Call of Duty 4, to great fanfare. That game was absolutely fantastic. And I kind of find it a little bit ironic that the remastered version has come out just this year, just a couple days ago. So I think that's pretty neat and kind of goes in conjunction to what software you needed, or rather what hardware you needed back then to run it, to what you need now, which is, completely different. So back in 2007, so the PC that I was rocking, you guys can see it over here. I'm not sure which Corsair case this is. I think it's a 200R if I'm not mistaken. But either way though, the CPU, we're rocking an Intel E6550. It's a 2.3 gigahertz dual core system. Yeah, there wasn't any hyperthreading on this bad boy right over here. It was a true dual core, so there's two cores in there packing 2.3 gigahertz. And there was also 8 gigabytes of RAM in here. So we're talking about 4 sticks of 2 gigabytes of DDR2. We're not even 3 at this moment yet. Remember, guys, this is still 2007 when this system was built. The motherboard is an Asus P5KE. What was really cool about this motherboard was you actually had the ability to have a built-in wireless LAN connection on it, so you didn't have to buy an additional Wi-Fi dongle or adapter. This thing already had Wi-Fi built into it. So actually, the funny thing about getting this case with this combo at the time, because the case is actually much newer than the components inside of it. So the case has 2 USB 3 slots up on the front I/O ports. And you actually needed an adapter to go to the USB 2.0 header on the motherboard instead, because this bad boy, this Asus P5KE, it doesn't have a USB 3 header on it, so I had to actually get an adapter from Corsair so I can actually do the USB 3 to USB 2 in order to have the 2 functioning ports up in the front. Now, as I mentioned, since this was an Htpc build at the time, it doesn't have the original video card that it used. So basically what I did was when those components were kind of, I guess, out of commission for the time, I decided to use this PC for the Htpc purpose rather than, just leaving it on the side somewhere. So this was vigilantly used for grabbing media from servers, for example, that I have a little home server that it would stream any movies that I had on there, Netflix, for example, and as I also mentioned, some wireless, a little bit of moderate gaming as well. Nothing too big though. But this was actually the original GPU in the first build back in 2007. So this is the bad boy that ran Call of Duty 4 at the time when it was brand spanking new, and another hot game at the time was also Guild Wars Eye of the North. It was the last expansion before Guild Wars 2 was coming out a couple of years later. So I was really, really hyped about that. And this was the bad boy running it at the time. This is the XFX made GeForce 8800 GTS. This had 320 megabytes of GDDR3 RAM, if I'm not mistaken, or was it even, oh no, it wasn't, it was just DDR3 RAM. Yeah, 320 megs of it, at least that's what it says on the back of this thing. There was also a 640 megabyte version as well. So those ones were better for running at higher resolutions. That's why you needed the additional VRAM for these cards anyway. At the time, we were just rocking, if I'm not mistaken, 1024 by 768, and we later upgraded to 1680 by 1050, but at the time 1080p was still up there. It was HD, it was the thing to attain. It's like the 4K of the day, at least back in the time. But what kind of disappointed me was when we bought this card, only a few months later did the glorious 8800 GT come out, and that card was absolutely wicked. Anybody at the time who was building systems can tell you the 8800 GT was the card to get. Yeah, I'm just really happy that I kept this bad boy lying around just to show you guys what we were using, at least back in the day. This is almost 10 years ago we're talking about. So essentially the components that I'm going to be using within the new Htpc are going to be the components that I had for my previous video editing and video gaming rig. So that was a 4670K from Intel. It's an i5, but since I wanted to make the form factor a lot smaller and not have to use an ATX case, I decided to go with MITX. So I got a Cooler Master Elite 110 case. This thing looks absolutely tiny. I also got an MITX motherboard as well, so we can fit that all into there very, very nicely. I'm going to try to reuse some of the components like the power supply and some of the hard drives. Fortunately, this thing doesn't have a disk bay on it, so we're not going to be having any optical drives on it, but like I said, the last time I used an optical drive for something was a really, really long time ago, so don't even need that on anymore. Yeah, so this build isn't really anything fancy. It's kind of recycling what I had before because that's what I like to do. I like to have my components being reused for something else. So when that build from 2007 wasn't being used anymore, it got moved to an HTPC. And now that my old video gaming and video editing rig isn't being used anymore, I'm gonna replace that HTPC with that. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do with those old components. Maybe just keep them around for historic sake, or maybe if somebody I know needs a PC and they can't really afford one, I can just throw those components together and just give it to them. So yeah, let's get right into it, and let's just go with a quick time lapse of the build, and we'll talk about everything else at the end. And there you have it, folks. That is the complete build of my brand new, at least to me, HTPC. Some of the components are absolutely brand new to me. They're a little bit older in terms of generation. I mean, it's not the latest, chipsets from Intel or the latest CPUs, but you know what? It's going to do the job wonderfully. It's a true quad core, no additional hyper-threading, but for what it's going to be doing, it's going to be an HTPC. It's not going to be doing too much heavy lifting, maybe some light gaming, but the main point of it is going to be streaming and taking things and just putting it up on the TV displays so anybody can watch movies, TV shows, and whatever. So I want to get some feedback from you guys. Let me know if you have yourself an HTPC at home, or if you're ever interested in building one, and if I should do a little bit more of a comprehensive video on that. Be sure to let me know about it in the comment section below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press that thumbs up button, but if you didn't, be sure to press that thumbs down button instead, and be sure to let me know why you didn't enjoy it in the comment section below, and of course give me some feedback on what I could have improved on for next time. Either way though, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.